Okay, so you may find it boring. I find this incredibly fascinating. I don't know if you are aware or not, but as I am a singer, see that check mark by my name. I'm a singer, a songwriter. Yes, and I enjoy posting about my dog. And I wrote a cookbook. You should check it out, okay? As well as some Bible resources. So, yeah, Homegirl stays busy. I don't believe in boredom. Nonetheless, let me get into this video. So, the current medical authorities, they do not take account. I think I wrote a book. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I even looked at all of my literary endeavors, right? I know I just most recently did my cookbook, and it'll probably be a while before I write another one. But I wanted to discuss something that is very real that some deny exists, and that is the supernatural component to human health. I believe in the supernatural. I believe that there is the God, and I believe that there is a devil. I believe that there is good and there is evil. I believe that they're constantly in warfare. I believe that my family and some of you out there are experiencing spiritual warfare. Okay. About 6 months ago, an appointment was made by default, which I appreciate, by our dentist. We are, heads up, going to be in Washington, D.C. We're going to be at the Brentwood location at Venture Dental. I understand, it's not lost in me that I don't have millions of followers. So it's a good probability, actually, that the very 20 people, because usually that's about how many the dentist is able to host in their office, the very 20 people that will be at the office when we are there too may not see this video. I get that. Due to the frustration of the situation, and when I go into why, you'll understand. Although I'm going to shut the comments down, there's a 1% chance it could go viral. And I know that 1% chance it would not be a good viral unless God did something supernatural, like, whoa, y'all. Unless God, like, supernaturally stole the narrative, been like, because here's like what this chick went to the doctor. She's so selfish, knowing that she's sick. I'm not dumb, y'all. I know how people do. So that's the viral that would more than likely happen. So I'm gonna shut the comments down off that 1% that it could go negative viral. But if God took it, he could change it and be like, wow, this chick is proven, and I've experienced this too, that the supernatural does exist when it comes to human health. That's unlikely. The first is more of what people would do, but the second could actually happen, where it go good viral. I doubt that, so I'm gonna shut the comments down. Nonetheless, as soon as me and my babies get to our appointment, which is on today, this is Tuesday, May 13th, we are going to go and put the mask on. That is, we don't have masks. And not feeling well. We don't feel well to go and acquire them. I feel like that would not be productive because we're already not feeling well. I'm going to have to mask my symptoms in order to complete this appointment, which I know many people would find dishonest and irritating, which hence why I'm going to shut the comments down. But I do hope that you look at and not be entirely distracted by your annoyance of that and your critique of that, when there is this other huge elephant in the room, which is something I've been trying to prove for a long time to the populace, the supernatural component to human health. I don't know if you realize, I think I may have said this already, but among being a singer, songwriter, dealing with my dogs, posting about that, writing a cookbook, stop it. I also am a watcher, and I observe and try to learn, and if I feel like it's pertinent, relay the information to the populace as much as I can on my little platform. So I'm going to give you something. It's not monumental, but it further supports what I have been and validates what I have been saying for years now, and even wrote about, I think, in one or more of my books, about the supernatural component to human health that medical science does not account for and cannot account for, and I don't expect them to. And that many of the populace, because the authorities do not believe in it, many of the populace reject such notion that there can be, not always, because even I take that sometimes something just happens, but I believe, I know for a fact that there is, in some cases, a supernatural component to human health, with minor to severe illness, and that denying and rejecting such a stance and position, I feel, is not helpful to the human populace. So while this is hopefully very minor, and I'll forget about it, at some point in Jesus' name, that it is minor in Jesus' name, I'm going to relay to you, anyone who sees this video, a set of facts that, while minor, still support what I have been saying for years now about the supernatural components to human health. So on Mother's Day, on May 11th, 2025, that would be Sunday, May 11th, 2025, my eldest son, he vomits. I believe that is a happenstance, meaning, like, well, you know what it means, that it's one of those things that just happen, okay? Now, I realize I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor, but he vomits, and there's just no, I feel like it's unrelated, a completely unrelated thing. And yes, I do believe that the timing of it all is strange, but I do believe it's also unrelated. So go to Monday. So that would be Monday, May 12th, the day after Mother's Day. We take a sick day from homeschool to focus on making sure that everybody, out of the abundance of caution, is healthy, so that we will be healthy. And then secondary reason is we know that we have an appointment on Tuesday, May 13th, which is today, a dental appointment. And if we're all messed up and stuff like that, I agree with their protocol, actually, by the way, they can delay the appointment, understandably, so I did that. I feel like I made the right decision, but hence you'll understand my frustration in a moment when I go into exactly what happened, why I feel like my family was targeted. Spiritual warfare that many of you do not believe in. So the facts are, the cold hard facts are that my family boarded the bus, because although we were taking a sick day from homeschool to recover, get better, make sure that we can present well and actually be healthy for the appointment, period, and then also for the appointment coming up the very next day, which is today, Tuesday, May 13th. We board a bus and no one's presenting any symptoms. I explained to my son, my eldest son, that we're gonna all chill and relax, make sure that we don't have anything, make sure we're healthy and everything for the school week that we have coming up, just in general. And that when we get home, because we had to run this errand to get some stuff we need, when we get home, he's going to be able, we're all going to relax, get some rest, get, hydrated and stuff like that, and just take care of ourselves. The stuff that families normally do, when someone or the family could be not feeling well. So I'm explaining that. And then when we are on the bus, there is a man. The bus is sparse. There's like 2 people, I believe, on the bus, if my memory serves me correctly. And he's coughing and sneezing and stuff like that. And we sit in front of him. And one of the reasons why we kind of did that was because we had a dog, else we would have sat farther away. But we sat in front of him because it seemed kind of advantageous to do so. And plus, he was on the bus, of course, he's facing forward. As you know, the driver is everyone's facing forward. So he is facing forward, but we are not facing him. We're facing forward. Actually, it's like 3 three seats in succession. So he's in one seat. Me and the large dog, because our dog is pretty big, Genesis, I'm in the seat in front of him, right? Facing forward, so I'm not facing him. And then my two sons are in the seat in front of me. They also are facing forward, which I think makes this all even more strange and supports my point, ladies and gentlemen, that I have been asserting for years now. So you know the seating arrangement. He's seated facing forward, coughing and sneezing. I'm seated directly in front of him. I'm presented with no symptoms. My whole family seems healthy. I do have my large dog Genesis with me, my Akita. In front of me is my two sons, who are taking a day from homeschool to make sure that we all are well, and then also to make sure we're all well enough to complete our very next day appointment at the dentist. So that's the seating arrangement. Everyone is facing forward. Actually, nobody is facing the other direction, right? Which is backward. So with this man coughing and sneezing, I felt safe and secure enough to go ahead and still do that because everyone is facing forward. So as the ride is progressing, this bus ride that we're on to run and get our some needs that we have on this one errand before we go home and we rest and stuff. My dog Genesis, my Akita, she sneezes directly in my face. No, she has not. I don't think I've ever seen her sneeze, which makes it. I'm trying to tell you, it's. So I'm trying to stick to only facts so that you can see that my point here. So I don't think I've ever seen Genesis sneeze, but this time, this day, at this moment, she sneezes directly in my face. She is facing me. I have her actually up. She's not on the ground. Her back feet are on the ground and her front feet are on my lap. And she's actually kind of, her front and her face is to my face. So she's the only one facing the guy, actually, but that is behind me. And he sneezes and coughs, and then she sneezes and coughs directly in my face. Never him, it was her. And then we go ahead and complete this day and complete this errand. And the chronological is this. My whole family starts presenting symptoms. None of my family was facing this man that was coughing and sneezing behind us. None of them. Not one of us. I think I may have turned around to look once because he did say something. I'm sorry, I don't want to seem mean, but I did not respond, but he did say something. That makes me look bad. I wanted to admit that, but I had to explain why, because no one with common sense would, especially with someone coughing and sneezing and stuff, would turn back. But I turned back, and I still don't think he ever coughed or sneezed directly at me in my face like my dog did. But nonetheless, this is what happened. My dog who is fully vaccinated, and I don't think she's ever sneezed, but this one time in her life, okay? And my whole family hours later, same day, so that would be Monday, May 12th, right before our appointment, my whole family starts presenting with symptoms. Of course, I'm frustrated, and I can't believe, especially after I took a sick day for this very reason, right? Out of the abundance of caution. Of course, I'm frustrated right now, and I realize, and I'm also frustrated because I realize that anyone who sees this might be frustrated because it could go bad viral because, well, you still went to the appointment. Thank you for that, which I totally understand. But I beg your forgiveness for this. But yeah, I'm still trying to make this appointment. Okay. Nonetheless, my whole family starts presenting with symptoms. And even though they were sitting 2 seats away from him, facing forward, not facing him, okay? And my dog, which would kind of give credence to what doctors say in regards to transmission can't happen between a dog and a person. Well, my dog never sneezed on them, So one could say, well, yeah, there you go, medical science is right. Why? Because the dog never sneezed on them, and that is true. I'm not gonna lie. My dog never sneezed on them. She was in my lap, facing it to my face, and she sneezed directly in my face. And my whole family started presenting with symptoms, and I gave like some cold medicine or something like that, and some vitamin C, multivitamin, to try to get better. Everybody's doing well and stuff, but nonetheless, I'm still presenting more than both boys, which I always find. I don't know if some of you who aren't parents may not understand, but I always am glad when I'm the one that's, sickest, right? Like, and it seems highly minor, so that's good at least. But I always find that, because I hate it when like one of my boys are really going through, but yet I feel like all perfect and stuff. I always prefer it be the other way around, because at least I'm older, I have more experience, and I can relay my symptoms. I don't have to relay my symptoms to myself, right? I can communicate well, stuff like that. Anyway, getting back to the point. So fast forward here, where I am, it's kind of like this still. Out of everybody, I'm going to be the one, it seems, that has to mask my symptoms, because they're doing so well. Pats on my back under my care, they seem to be doing so well. So I don't think I'm going to have to mask theirs, but I'm definitely probably going to have to mask mine. When we get it, where is this? It's I think I said it already, but Adventure Dental, Brentwood location, Washington D.C. I realize the people who, since I don't have millions of followers, the people who need to see this may not see it. I am sorry. Comments shut down. I'm not. I know how people do comments shut down, just in case, right? I apologize if I would still do it because it's an interest of mine. I find this absolutely fascinating. I wrote about it. This is a genuine interest. I'm not new to this. I've been saying for years there's a supernatural component to human health, and that ignoring it or denying it does a disservice to people. I am going to, of course, take care of us. We have a few hours before our appointment. And I'm probably gonna, take I'm gonna take a shower to loosen up stuff, and probably, I don't know if I'm gonna take anything, but I more than likely will, because it's like, I definitely don't want to be having to make this appointment again. So I more than likely will. Normally I probably wouldn't, but since this is, it could determine whether or not we are able to complete this, I will probably, out of the abundance of just needing to get this done, take something, okay? Because I don't want to ruin this, right? And have to do it again. So there's no point in me making this longer. There's no point in me trying to embellish. Nothing was embellished here. That is the full chronological. I did admit that Genesis didn't cough and sneeze on everybody. She just coughed and, she did not cough. She sneezed on me, in my face. I believe that this is further evidence of what I've been saying for years. I'm going to go into prayer. I believe we're experiencing spiritual warfare. The timing is highly inconvenient, but I am still going to try to make this appointment. This is ridiculous. I feel like it's very unfair, right? But anyway, I've been saying for years, and then I'm going to end this video because I'm getting kind of redundant now, that there is a supernatural component to human health. I understand it, especially since it is presumably minor, that you still may not be convinced, and that's fine. It's not fine, because I just said it's not fine. It's not fine, but you have a right to your stance and your view is what I'm saying. But these are the facts of the situation. The seating arrangement, I'm still trying to figure out how we got sick, quite frankly. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it's not much to figure out. I just said it's supernatural, right? Because none of us were facing this guy. especially my two sons sitting 2 seats away. I looked up I looked up whether or not whether or not and I do this often, um, just in case something has changed or something, but whether people and dogs can pass stuff back and forth. And the current science says absolutely not. It's highly unlikely. I don't know why they word it that way. I don't know why they word it that way when what they mean is like absolutely not, but they word it like highly unlikely. I'm like, that means that you think that there is a possibility, right? It's worded highly unlikely, but what they seem to be saying is that it's not possible. But nonetheless, this happened. So I believe that it's supernatural. But I'm going to go into prayer so that the good that I believe good and evil are at war right now, that good can prevail over the evil, and so that my family can get better. However minor, I also believe that, since I do believe that it's a supernatural component, it's no reason to be scared, but it's a supernatural component to human health. One of the reasons why I feel like it's important to make that determination and accept that as a reality is because you practice with minor, and I'm not like your medical prophet or something like that. But my theory is that you practice it with minor just in case major ever comes. And God is gracious, like we hardly ever see major. But I intend for the rest of my life, I practice with minor just in case major comes. Would it not be disingenuous for me to come on here and say I believe there's a supernatural component to human health, but yeah, when something happens, I do like nothing consistent with someone who has that deep conviction? I am consistent with it. I have been for years, and I practice attacking, and I feel like the human race, the populace, would do well to practice attacking spiritually the evil when it is small, just in case the human race ever is, and I highly doubt it. God is so merciful that many times the good, the angels that you do not see, and some of you do not believe in, they are warring against supernatural things that would love to come to fruition, that would love to manifest as illness, as pathology, in the human race, and run rampant, but they are keeping it at bay, including other people. That's also including other people who actually do pray. They represent the good people who actually do pray, because they, like me, they agree with me. They do believe, because I know some of you are out there and you do believe what I believe, that there is a supernatural component in some cases, not all, to human health, right? And it cannot be denied. It should not be rejected and denied. It's a fact. It's a fact whether you acknowledge it or not. Like air, like oxygen, like gravity. It's just a fact. It's there whether you accept it or not. And these people are also praying and stuff like that, which once again represents the good, so that the evil, the pathogens, the things that would love to take root and take hold just have not developed. But that doesn't mean that they can't. That's my theory. So it's almost like my theory, the reason why I'm doing this is not necessarily so we can all prevent catching the common cold, even though I feel like that's an awesome thing. If you can do that, you should do that, because the least human illness, the better, the more productive we are, the happier we are, right? And it's good to practice. My main thing is it's practice potentially, and we should be practicing, because it is within the realm of possibility that something more, something that would cause fear, right? Like, unlike the common cold, something that is bigger, like Ebola or something like that, could manifest. And then we would have the skill set, we would have the spiritual development and skill set to know how to thwart it and combat it, because we've practiced with the small things. Because God, in his graciousness, he gave us many years where it was just the common cold, and we would realize that I didn't catch this common cold because I was standing outside in the rain. I didn't catch this common. I caught this common cold because some evil spirit decided I should have a cold today. And I don't accept that. I'm a human being. I'm made out of God's image. I refuse to be sick when I don't need to be sick. I refuse to be sick on a schedule. That is the devil's. I refuse to be sick anytime the devil feels it's advantageous for me to be sick. Because what if it's something more serious? What if the next time it's a cancer? What if the next time it is a mutated version of the Ebola virus? What if the next time it is a purposeful outbreak of a spreaded illness from one of these labs, right? That someone working on the devil's behalf purposely puts out. What if that happens? I would not have the skill set because I ignored it. I just let the enemy. I just find it offensive. I'm like David with Goliath. I find it offensive that the devil can decide, okay, I'm gonna let you be healthy on Monday and Thursday, but on Friday and Wednesday, I'm gonna make you sick. I feel like that's something we should not accept. Right now, I'm not gonna go as far as some people, which is like hedonistic, right? Because Christians, I'm not hedonistic. I don't believe Mother Earth. I don't believe that I am like God, a goddess or something like that. But I do believe being made in God's image, being a special creation, being a feeling, sentient creation, that we are to reject evil in all of its forms. I believe we reject. So I reject being on the devil's schedule. Do you? I pose this question to you, even though I know for you to think about. Do you accept the devil's schedule for you to be well and sick? A spirit that is dirty, a spirit that is evil, a spirit that does not care about you, the wellness of your body, your family, your health, your mental health. A spirit that is in hell, it deserves to be in hell and would like to take you with him to hell. A spirit that truly, really is not supposed to be having any impact on your life whatsoever. Do you think more like me, like David with Goliath? That who are you to decide and dictate to me when I can be well and when I'm supposed to be sick? When it's advantageous for me to be well, you have a meeting coming up where you could get a huge promotion, and the devil is like, nah, I think you should be sick now. Or you have like this recital, right? Your child has a recital, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bam, right? And I feel like, no, I feel like some of you are like me with David and Goliath. Like, how dare you presume that you have any type of place to dictate to me when I can be sick, when I can be well, how well I can be? Like, there's levels. You can be healthy, but you can't be too healthy. You can't be too vibrant. You can't be too happy. You can be happy, but you can't be but so happy. You can be wealthy, but you can't be but so wealthy. Like, just, is there anybody who agrees with me on that? I find it naturally just offensive. And I'm not given to offense, as many Christians like follow the Bible, we aren't. But this is offensive. It's offensive that something foul has taken root in my temple. I don't care that it's a cold, because I see it as serious, because this, nonetheless, whether it's a big attack or a small attack, it's still an attack. It's good fighting evil. It's evil fighting good. So I take it all very seriously. And I know that there's some of you out there, you agree with me and you take it seriously too. So I hope that you, and I will, like, thankfully, I don't have a lot of evidence for you because I'm not trying to get sick just to prove anything. But over the years, if I find anything, see anything as an observer, as a conscientious observer, I will relay that to you as I feel like it's, okay to do so at my discretion. And this is one of the things, very minor, where you got the chronological Besides supernatural, I'm still not sure how the I guess that's why it's called supernatural, because it doesn't make sense why we didn't talk to him. My two sons never even probably saw him except when they were boarding the bus. And the dog, they say dogs can't pay. And oh, by the way, I totally believe that I have cases where me and my pets pass stuff back and forth, right? But I cannot prove it. But that would once again be supernatural. I put that in the supernatural category as a supernatural attack. That's why it's called supernatural. It's something that's not supposed to happen and not supposed to be possible that is happening, that is being made possible because there is some evil force that is causing that to be. And that's what I think. That's what I believe, and that's where I stand, because as time develops and stuff, you know what they say, right? Time proves everything or disproves everything. Just give it some time and the truth will come out. That's what I've done, and I have not had to retract not a single book. I have not had to retract not a single video. It just keeps seeming to be what it seems to be. So this is 30 minutes long, and I'm out.